Hello everyone, this is Dyson. Welcome back. In this video, we're gonna see smart attachment in CrowdX 21. So let's begin with this character using character import. As you can see, this is very cool and awesome character. It's have everything. You see the attachment, claw, open and shield. And if I create bone deform, let's check if we have animation or not. Yeah, we have it. And by the way, this cool character is available on the project file. So let's use this to create agent. So first let's create this explode view to show you we have these pieces or these separate object by the name attribute. You see? And let me see. You see we have the name attribute here, and we have bone capture too. So now let's create CrowdX. This is the brand new one, and let's create one agent. This is very simple. I want to create it not from FX, rather from rig, character rig, and it's need the shape, which is this output. Let's call it shape. And it's need the skeleton, which is this one. Yeah, let's call it joints. And you see we have these two, and this is a not Miximo joint. So let's drag and drop, and boom, we have our character as an agent, and we have our crowd out of the box, and we don't have any animation. Now let's go to the animation, and let's create one. And I want to create it from motion clip, and let's call it walk. And let's create motion clip now, and let's connect it to the third input. As you can see, this is the shadow pose from the animation output as a motion capture. So now, motion clip, and now we're gonna drag it, and boom, we have this artifact. And as you can see, now we have animated stick as a default. So if you have this artifact, just change the joint input to the third one. Yeah, we have this one, and as you can see, we have the preview animation here, and we don't have any collision shape. Let's create one automatically. Boom, like a magic. You see? Wow, this is the strength of CrowdX, as you can see. Now we can test this using ragdoll simulation test. This is provided by Houdini, very useful node, and boom, you see everything colliding, and our character it's have a ragdoll setup. But as you can see, we have all this attachment, but this is considered as a one character. I want this attachment as a separate one. I want to interact with it, or I want to drop it on ragdoll. So how we can separate this attachment from the character? So if you remember, we have the name attribute, and we're gonna use a split with that. And let's first separate the main object, main character. We're gonna hit that, and let's go to the name attribute, and boom, we're gonna select the body only, and that's our character. So now we have that, and the rest of the attachment it's on this output. So we're gonna use blast, and let me show you first. This is all the object, and we can select, for example, the weapon here, the sword, weapon, everything. And you see, let me show you. Now we have this crowd. This is the solo character without any attachment. And let's go to the attachment, and this is the brand new attachment. First, let me select our sword or weapon here, and boom, we have that. And let's change the name for weapon. And now in here I easily can create one, and this is the brand new attachment window. This is very cool. And now we can drag and drop, boom, we have that. As you can see, the placement is nice because we have bone capture on this sword too. And the name, you see, we have the bone capture here. And what does that mean? If I create bone deform, you see, sorry. And this weapon, it's animated because it's linked to the joint. It's a weighted joint. And as you can see, everything is working and the placement, everything. But if you notice, our circle, it's not moving with the agent. That's mean we didn't set up the locomotion joint. We can set up that in info tab, and you can use the pelvis or hip joint for it because it's at the center of the joint. And as you can see, now we have in place animation. This is very cool. And as you can see now, let's create our collision shape using the ragdoll, and you see we have that, but we don't have any collision shape for this one. So in order to have ragdoll collision shape, you need to bind it with the joint. So this is the benefit of the joint because we want to interact with it. So for example, I want to bind it for the the right hand, and we have this problem. The old headache. When you bind any object to any joint, you need to adjust the transformation, blah blah blah, and that's so frustrating, honestly. So now CrowdX have this cool auto adjust, and boom, it's auto adjusted. But yeah, we have this issue. This is because we previewed the animation here. You see everything now working, and this is auto adjust. Very sexy and very cool and very time saver. So in order to have animation preview, remember, set up that in distribution. This is the animation, and boom, you see in here, when you set up the animation, every attachment will adjust with the character. So now if I create a ragdoll and enable drop on ragdoll, we have our object. And yeah, with test ragdoll, guess what? We can drop this object, and boom, this is very easy. See? So fast forward, this is our cloth setup. You see, you can select the Vellum, and I prepared this one as a Vellum pack. We talked about that in the previous video, and you see it's not adjusted. You can of course have transformation node, and you can adjust that, and this is very cool. Do not bother yourself to adjust it very micro detail, because the Vellum solver will take care of that later on. So now we can simulate our agent. You see we have this problem, and maybe let's disable that. Sorry, now we need to rebuild the network. We don't have any animation. We need to rebuild the network here, and we're gonna enable that, and boom, now we have that. But you see the cloth, it's not cool. As I said, do not worry about that because the Vellum will take care of that. So we're gonna adjust the total number here, and as you can see, this is the new distribution tab. Very convenient and very simple design. And now let's create agent Vellum unpack. This is very cool node to unpack our Vellum attachment, and you can select the layer here, cloth, and now we are ready to create our Vellum solver. You see, boom, it's recognized the collision and it's working. You see, not that goofy animation. And now let's merge the result with that, and we have our cloth simulation and regular attachment here. Very simple and very easy, and we can unpack that and we can retrieve our texture. You see, very cool. And this is the flip book, and we can have something like that. You see, everything is working. So fast forward, I separate all these objects using the blast, and I rename every node with the object, because it will name your attachment based off the node you are drag and drop in. And as you can see, I add this line for distribution, and yeah, we have simple thing, and we can have variation of attachment in here. You see distribution, we have that, and we can add all the layer, and we can adjust this seed to assign the layer to every agent. This is very typical stuff. And now we're gonna clear that. I want all the layer for all the agent. I wanna see the result now, and this is the flipbook. So as you can see, everything is working, the interaction, all the RBD, ragdoll, crowdy stuff is working. You see, very simple setup. If you didn't have any CrowdX, you will have a messy setup to achieve something like that, honestly. So now, as you can see, we have the layers, and I added that as a cloth. So with that, have a good day, see you in the next one, and have fun with the new CrowdX.